think that maybe Alex should have taken inspiration from her own name. A special thanks to my patrons, Acrophobe Christina, Courtney EP, Gigi Wee, Wild Rose, Jam Beans, Jay Thomas, Lauren Chris, Michael B. Petty, That British Unicorn, Sky Andropolis, Sonia P, Xanthal, Debbie Elliott, D. Higgins, Juliet Q, and Kate O. Hey, hi, hello. We are once again doing another Chatty Get Ready With Me. I love doing these because they are very, very efficient use of my time. Also because I like putting makeup on my face. I have, in fact, taken out my capsule collection for my summer stuff again. I have like summer, spring stuff that kind of is all in one rather than having two separate things because I don't really have an identity that's like more summer focused or more that spring focused. I just sort of interchangeably wear pieces. Plus it's getting kind of warm again outside and more importantly, it's getting warm indoors. People have lost their damn minds. They're turning the heat on way too early and then I get way too hot. I am rambling. Let's get to today's topic, shall we? If you guys don't know, a little while ago, I had done a Get Ready With Me, not Get Ready With Me, it was a review of Alexandra Rodriguez's channel, Learning to Be Fearless, and I had talked about what she was eating. And I like doing those still. I just haven't done one in a while. I just haven't had the opportunity. And also, I don't know who to talk about, really. If you guys have anyone in particular you guys want me to talk about, go ahead and leave that link down below. But either way, I had like done one on her and I actually ended up kind of liking her channel. But I had also Googled, YouTubed, I guess, just the videos that I had an interest in. I hadn't really watched her channel. I'm not like a casual viewer of her. And so I know I'm going to miss stuff. Absolutely. But after I had made that video and I put some stuff up onto the internet, I had a few people say, hey, you might want to look at her channel with a little bit in a little bit more detail because all is not well at her channel. She's gained a lot of weight and she does a ton of sponsorships was one of the things that I saw as criticism. And then also that for all that she says that she's eating healthy and exercising, she's also doing mukbangs. And so then I was intrigued. I was like, do we have another contender for, you know, girls' world, as it were? And what's more, by the way, everything I wear on my face is linked down below. I'm not really feeling foundation because, like I said, it's a warm day today. So I'm wearing the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the color Medium 28, which is an okay match for me. I'll leave, once more, everything will be down below, and I'm just going to, like, use this to spot conceal rather than applying it all over my face. Anyway, I've lost track of what I was saying. Right. So she recently made a video. She's been getting some criticism for a while now regarding her stomach and how she seems to have lost a lot of weight in her stomach. And around that same time, she started doing a sponsorship with Weight Watchers, you know, Amber Lynn's favorite place on earth. And she hadn't really addressed it, and there were some rumors circling around, and she decided to make a video and talked about it. And I kind of wanted to discuss that today. I'll leave her original video linked down below. She made two, actually. Obesetobeast actually also covered this, which is sort of how I came across it. I wasn't aware of the situation. When I saw that he was talking about Alexa Rodriguez, I kind of was like, oh, wait, what's happening? Because she's generally pretty non-problematic, and from what I've seen, at least, she stays in her own lane, in that she doesn't have controversies, though she's not like a good weight loss channel, I guess I should say, right? There's a difference between being bad at what you're supposed to be doing and between generating controversies. And she's been relatively controversy free. Just applying a little bit more of that right in my inner corners where I have the most darkness. That is both a metaphysical thing and, you know, for my eyes. Anyway, she put out a video talking about what she had done. And if you guys aren't familiar with the situation, here is what she's done. So if you guys don't know, Alexa Rodriguez is a relatively big channel. She's got about 500,000 subscribers. She's like a lifestyle fitness channel, and she's on a weight loss journey. She used to be relatively thin. She gained a bunch of weight, and this is her journey to like try and lose that weight again and become a healthier person. Great. She does workouts. She does a bunch of stuff. And like I said, 500,000 subscribers. She's a really big channel. And she's got a lot of subscribers. She's got a lot of sponsorships that she talks about on her channel. All's fine. I'm a fan of sponsorships. They allow creators to flourish on their channel as long as they're done and handled with responsibility, you know, and as long as you disclose properly. All that good stuff. The reason why she's getting a lot of issues is that she had surgery to remove her fupa, to remove her lower stomach. Now, if you guys don't know what a fupa is, look at it and look at Dr. Armchair's video and you guys will know. But a fupa is a fat upper pelvic area. It's kind of like a pouch that forms when you are a little bit heavier on your lower stomach. That's not always why it forms. It can also, it's just how weight sort of tends to settle. I've got a cousin who is incredibly skinny. I mean, I'm talking, she gave birth and like, I want to say a month after she had like a full-on human baby, she weighed, I want to say maybe like 50 pounds. And she's an inch taller than I am. She's like 5'6". Anyway, she's really skinny and she has a fupa too. And it's not like, it doesn't like hang or anything like that, but it's the band is definitely there of fat right below her belly button. And I think the reason for it is just kind of where you tie your pants, where your weight settles, how you're built, and of course, how fat you are, right? All of those things play into it. So while hers is very small and relatively fat, still kind of there. Alexa has had ones, Alex. I'm really bad at words and also names. So Alex has had one for a while and she talks a lot about on her channel about loving your stomach and like being proud of the way that you're shaped, which I genuinely think is true. I think everybody, regardless of whether you're 100 pounds or whether you're 500 pounds, you should love your body for all the things that it does for you, right? You should also love your body enough to want to do what's best for it, i.e. lose weight, eat healthy, exercise, all those good things, right? And so I understand the message of what she is saying. But that's a very specific message that she's giving. She's not saying, hey, love your body. She's not just saying that. She's focusing, hyper-focusing, in fact, on one part of her body, her lower stomach, something that I think that she in the past has mentioned she is not very comfortable with. So she has surgery to remove her lower stomach, to remove her fupa. And her reasoning for it is that she actually got an infection and she kept getting infections and it just became really painful and hard to take care of. And that's why she got it removed. She wanted, you know, just to not have to deal with all that pain and stuff like that anymore. It wasn't about self-image. Okay. All right, I'm going to hold my topics for that. Once more, I'm using the Mrs. Norris lipstick from the ColourPop and Safiyah Naygaard ColourPop collection, which I love that collection. If you guys don't know, I used up bikini bottoms already, which I'm so sad about. But this is now Mrs. Norris, which works great on like medium complexion skin tones as a like a cream sort of like contour shade. Was it wrong to get that surgery to remove her lower stomach, right? Let's talk about it just objectively. Say you didn't know that she was an influencer, she was a health influencer, she was a lifestyle influencer. She was just a lady on the street. Was it okay for her to have done this? I would very much so argue in the favor of yes, it is okay for her to have done this. It is okay for anybody to get any kind of cosmetic surgery for almost any reason, to be very honest with you. I am very pro getting any kind of surgery that makes you feel more comfortable in your skin. I don't think there's anything wrong with you doing it. And if you're doing it for weight loss reasons, I think that's also fine. I think that we should normalize that a little bit more. You know, I have lipedema in my legs. I've told you guys this several times before. And one of the only things that actually works for lipedema is getting liposuction on them. Because the way that the fat is structured, it's very, very hard to lose with just weight loss. Not to say that weight loss, natural weight loss, is not something that will help. It will 100% help. But when you have lipedema, the shape of your legs fundamentally changes because of the way that the fat is shaped and where it settles. And so you'll have pain in those areas even when you lose weight and the rest of your body is like skinny, give or take, right? Or at least like normal weight. And that fat is very, very resistant to real weight loss. And so one of the things that they recommend for lipedema is, hey, lose weight naturally, lose a good chunk of weight naturally, and then whatever is that lipedema fat, because lipedema fat is different from regular fat, we will remove with liposuction. So yeah, just because, I mean, I have it and not, you know, I just think it's fine. That's what I can do to fix my legs, to get them to look the way that I want, and also to not have pain in them, but that's a separate matter. But even if I didn't have lipedema, I would still think it's fine. I mean, what is inherently so different about getting plastic surgery for any reason, right? What is so different between that and like getting your ears pierced or your hair dyed? That's not natural either. That is also purely for vanity, right? So why not do it? Especially if you have the money, right? I think it's fine. The reason why like I would consider restricting it, the reasons that I think are maybe like not good enough to get surgery, is if you're doing it because you think that you're ugly, right? I can objectively look at my legs and I can say, hey, I would like them to look slightly different because it's hindering the ability for me to do certain things. But if I'm just looking at my legs and thinking I'm disgusting and no one will ever love me, and if I get the surgery maybe somebody will, I mean, obviously that's not a healthy mindset to have, right? And so there's a fine line there between somebody doing it because they just want to make a little tweak and make themselves look a little bit better, and somebody doing it because they are dissatisfied with who they fundamentally are, right? And I wish I could phrase it better, but I am not a psychologist, a therapist, any of those fun things. So I don't think I can. But I do think that, you know, having some sort of psychological evaluation done before you get a surgery like that, I think is a good thing, especially if you're getting something big. If you're getting something small, I don't really, by small, I mean like if you're getting like the eyebrow tattoo thingy, I don't know what they're called. But if you're getting something like that, like microblading done, I don't think it's important. So fundamentally, I don't think Alexa did anything. Alexis Rose. Schitt's Creek is taking over my life. I don't think that Alexandra did anything wrong. I don't think Alex did anything wrong. I think that if she wanted to get plastic surgery, she is well within her right to get plastic surgery for any reason, right? And it didn't even have to be that she was getting infections and that it was painful. It could just have been that, hey, I just kind of wanted to. I didn't like the way that it looked. I would have felt better if, you know, I didn't have this issue. I think that's a perfectly reasonable explanation. Here's kind of where the problem comes in for me. First, I'm using this color, Touch of Spice, by Maybelline New York in matte. I love this lipstick. I'm just going to use it a little bit on my cheeks as a blush. So here's where the issue comes in. Around the same time, she accepted a sponsorship from Weight Watchers. And she didn't tell anybody that she'd had this surgery. So when people were looking at her weight loss, and you have to realize when you get something like liposuction done, right? If you get liposuction done, one of the things that happens is that fluid will fill the area where that fat was. That's why you have to wear compression garments a lot of the time when you get something like this done, right? Your body reacts to like most injury with swelling. So if you've had liposuction done, it won't immediately be apparent, or honestly, if you've had like skin removal done too, this will happen. It won't immediately be apparent the weight difference and like the shape difference in your body. What will happen is that that area will fill with fluid, and for a while you'll just be kind of bloated and swollen there. And then as your body heals and that swelling goes down, that's when the real shape of you will occur, right? And it can take months. It can take, depending on like what type of surgery you've had. I mean, large volume liposuction can result in like swelling a year after you had it. So I don't know. But when she had the surgery, she didn't have the Weight Watchers sponsorship. When she got the Weight Watchers sponsorship, it was still within that time period of when the swelling would have been going down, I think, right? And the shape of her would not have been very clear cut, whether or not, you know, she was down to her post-surgery shape, quote unquote. I'm trying to describe it the best I can. I hope I'm being clear. My problem here comes in with the fact that she got this surgery, then she accepted a weight loss sponsorship. Her weight was still in flux because of said surgery. And even if it wasn't, it's hard to tell in clothes, in all lights, depending on what angle you're filming from, whether or not you've got those tightening compression garments on, all of that, how much weight you've actually lost. Conceivably, people would have noticed this and been like, I think she has lost the weight because of Weight Watchers. And you didn't correct them. You didn't correct the assumption that all the weight loss, all the changes they were seeing in your lower stomach was because of Weight Watchers. Now, should she have told us? Should she have shared that she'd gotten this done? I think, once more, if it was just a regular person on the street, they are under no obligation to tell anybody whether or not they've had any kind of surgery and whether or not, they've availed themselves to any kind of plastic surgery-esque methods, right? So like lip fillers and a surgery, but no one is required to tell anybody that they've had them. I don't think so. But I think much like Kylie Jenner, who got lip injections and then told everybody that it was just, her doing makeup in a particular way and then monetizing off of that with her lip kits and lipstick and makeup line, I think this falls into that same category. You might not be doing it as badly as Kylie Jenner was because she didn't come out and say it is Weight Watchers, but you're certainly letting that impression linger. People might sign on to Weight Watchers hoping to get the kind of results you did, not realizing that, hey, you got those kind of weight loss, the results because you had had surgery. So I don't think that it was appropriate for her to have kept that information from her audience, from people who were giving her money. I don't think that she necessarily has to share everything. I don't think it is within her prerogative to share everything. But when it comes to weight loss, if you're billing yourself as a weight loss channel, you're promoting weight loss products, at the same time, you've gotten a surgery that results in weight loss and you don't share with anybody, people are going to end up attributing that success to something else. And that is not okay for her to have done. She should 100% have disclosed that information, just even if she didn't want to. Unfortunately, ethically, she should have told people, hey, look, I had this surgery done. It was causing me pain and I kind of wanted relief, and I still think you should love your body, but I needed to do this so that I could feel better and have healthy and happy day to day in my day-to-day life, And she would have gotten flack for it, but at least people wouldn't be questioning her integrity as they are right now. The second thing is, this campaign of love your lower stomach that she's talking about, well, she had to get hers removed because of complications, I find to be very hypocritical, right? I understand I just said that, she could have told people about the surgery and then still kept doing what she was doing. But the issue here is it's not just a matter of her, promoting this and having one issue with her stomach and needing to get it removed. The fundamental fact of the matter is, as I've mentioned in several other videos, that when you are that heavy, when you get heavier and you've got that flap hanging over your stomach, it increases the chances that you're going to have skin infections. It increases the chances that you're going to have different types of rubbing problems, right? Like the chub rub is a great example of that. Stuff like this happens when you get to be that heavy. So she's out here promoting love your lower stomach, be happy in your lower stomach. Your lower stomach is fine. She has said stuff to that effect on her channel, right? And at the same time, she went and she got hers removed because she was facing the complications that most doctors will tell you increase when you gain a ton of weight. And I found that really kind of funny and a little bit hypocritical. No, I'm not. I will once again say that your body deserves respect for everything that it does for you, for propelling you through life. But that doesn't mean that you get to say that something is fine when it obviously isn't. That doesn't mean that you should say, hey, I think that, love that your lower stomach is fine the way that it is, but I'm going to go get mine removed because I'm facing the obvious consequences of it not being fine at this size. I found that to be very hypocritical. And then on top of that, so both of those things, right? So one on top of the other, together, the compounding of those two problems is, I think, what led to the flack that she's getting right now. The reason that I'd mentioned in the beginning, if you remember, I talked about how someone had mentioned to me that she does a lot of sponsorships, a lot of sponsorship. Each video that I've seen of hers will have a sponsorship in it. There is nothing wrong with doing sponsorships. There's nothing wrong with doing a lot of sponsorships even. But I think that when every video you do has a sponsorship, every video you put out has ads on it, and then on top of that, you have got this message that you're flip-flopping back and forth between weight loss and diet, and then you're hiding a surgery, it kind of gives the impression of someone who really doesn't give a shit about what they're saying and is instead using the weight loss thing as a shtick to garner an audience and to get money. And while there's nothing wrong with getting money, I think trying to get money at the expense of your audience, it's problematic. But the palette, by the way, that I'm using is Colored Raine Queen of Hearts palette. This is the palette I'm going to try and keep the mirror back as much as I can because I don't want to blind you guys. This is the palette that I'm using. I use this in the crease, which is the color Princess. And then I use a little bit of the color Ladyship just to darken the outer corners. I used Crown in my inner corner, and I'm going in with Royal Highness, and I'll probably put a little bit of Noblewoman or Queen Mother right towards the edge. I love, love, love this palette. I know that things, makeup, YouTube especially, like stuff goes in and out of style all the damn time, but this is literally one of my favorite palettes. If you are a person of color and you are looking for like a modern Renaissance-esque palette, I recommend this one. This is much more person of color friendly. I don't like saying POC a lot because that's an abbreviation that we use like within my siblings and I to say piece of crap. And so now I can't, every time I say POC, I feel like people are going to think that I'm calling them a piece of crap when I'm not. I'm saying person of color, but I'm like, I don't know how to distinguish those two. So when you've got a channel where you are talking predominantly about weight loss, right? And then you've got a scandal like this, and you've got a history of people taking issues with you sort of quote unquote monetizing off of the struggles that you seem to be having, and just having an overabundance of ads, it can create this narrative that you don't particularly care about the weight loss aspect of it, and instead it is more of it's more of a feature of your channel to try and monopolize on the struggles of other overweight people, while you are going to get surgery to fix your issues and then try and sell us bullshit, right? Like it gives the impression of an opportunistic person. I don't know her well enough to know whether or not that's true, but that's the way that the information comes across, unfortunately. Going forward, is there anything that she can do? No, I mean, she's taken a little bit of time off. Right now, she made her videos and she's taken a little bit of time away. I think that when you are as big a channel as she is, you have to be careful of where you step. Stuff that might not be an issue for other people can become an issue for you just because of the amount of scrutiny and publicity that you have. It's not necessarily fair that every single thing you do and say is this heavily criticized. It's not fair that she is held to a higher standard than maybe other people would be, right? And it's not fair that she has to share more of her life than someone else would have to. But if you're going to get the benefits, i.e. the money, the sponsorships, the free stuff, love and adoration, you know, if you're going to get all of that, you're going to get all the perks of being an influencer. You're going to get all the negatives too. You're going to get the negatives of like additional responsibility, right? You have to be careful of how you are selling your products. You have to be careful of how you are quote unquote marketing yourself on the internet. You have to. And you can't give the impression that something that you are using and promoting and being paid to use online is giving better results than it is, right? And that's kind of what she did. She essentially provided a false narrative, and I don't know her well enough. I haven't consumed enough of her content to be able to say whether or not that is on purpose, but I would hope not, and I hope that we never see anything like this again. Though I will say, having now done this once, she is under a little bit of a microscope. People are much more forgiving the first time it happens. Second time, they're less so, and third time, they're not at all. So if I were in her position, I'd be careful. Okay. In conclusion, I have hair in my eyes because I got a haircut and I don't know what to do with it. And it's always better to give up a little bit of money and make sure that your audience trusts you. So next time you're going to do something like this, I know that you might not want to, but share the information with everybody and let our sponsorship like Weight Watchers go. That's all I gotta say on the matter. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you guys hated it, you can give me a thumbs down. That's totally okay. I respect everybody's opinions here. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Hit the notification bell down below and hit all if you want to know when I upload any videos right away. I've got all my social medias linked down below. I've got Instagram where I've got food stuff and life stuff. And, you know, stuff's coming. It's always coming. I've got Instagram. No, I already said Instagram. I've got Twitter where I've got all of my opinions. And I've got just general junk. If you don't want to interact with me, that's where you can do it. And I've got Patreon. Think of Patreon as the tip jar for the internet. So if you like the job that I'm doing here and you would like me to continue, hey, consider tossing a few coins in my direction. You don't have to. It's not necessary. But if you could, I'd really appreciate it, and it really does help the channel grow. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Jasmine, the sequel, and I am not relatable. Peace.